Okay, Danila, this is the Global Digest think tank group where you are right now. Please, Danila.
Okay, I'm still working with United Nations, with UNOPS, United Nations Office of Project and Services in Central African Republic. I work under the DDR section with MINUSCA. MINUSCA is the Central African UN Peace Operation Mission. I still work with there, but in the meantime, I manage my web page to I've started managing my web page to discuss, to share my ideas and some lesson learned and practice and so on.
I
But
see.
I'm working with UN.
Great, great. I mean, uh, particularly you are doing peace building and development. Is other
Yeah.
UN program.
Okay, I will say that in the UN, I'm working on the disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration, but mainly the reintegration part, which is named Community Violence Reduction Project. I'm in charge of the implementation in one of the center regional office in Central African Republic. But the peace building globally is my topic of interest, and I do my research on it, writing, and the DDR is a component of the peace building. For UN, I'm a consultant at UN. I'm a consultant at UN, and I'm an international consultant at UN because I'm an international staff,
Right.
but under a consultancy offer.
So what is HDPN, humanitarian
Humanitarian Development
is
Peace
next.
Nexus. The HDPN is the global topic which I work on it as my personal research and a topic of interest. But the DDR and the CVR program are inside the HDPN, the part of peace and development.
So HDPN is your own.
Yeah. No, HDPN is a UN concept. HDPN is a UN concept on which I'm working as my personal research and interest. But
Right.
the contract which I'm running now with UN is an international consultant contract, but mainly assigned to the reintegration program, which is the Community Violence Reduction Project, integration of communities and ex-combatants. Now, SCPN is a concept in the United Nations.
I see.
Yeah, SCPN is a program in United Nations which link the humanitarian activities
Right.
on and the peace and the development. Is the both the nexus will just explain that they are not, we can't divide them, because if you are doing humanitarian, we are firstly doing peace and development in the other side.
Yeah. So it means it's HDPN is very interesting. It's in only in African region or is the whole world program?
No. It is in the whole world. Everywhere you have humanitarian action, humanitarian access, humanitarian aid, everywhere you have peace, peace building, peacekeeping, peacemaking, everywhere you have issues of development, which is poverty, inclusion, and so on,
Right.
is HDPN.
Currently, your location is in which city and which country?
My location now is in Kagabandoro in Central African Republic.
I see. Your service Central African citizen.
I'm doing my service now in Central African Republic since 2021, almost 4 years now.
I see. So in Central Africa, in current your location or anywhere in Central Africa, is there still ongoing violence or are you directly engaging or dealing with those any conflicts, violence or something like that?
Okay, I will say the country is managing well. The reduce is conflict has reduced, but what we are doing is like a prevention. Why people are going in the conflict is mainly youth at risk, is because is poverty, is the weaknesses of local institution, is all those things. Now our program is like a prevention. We are working on the ground with communities to help them with livelihoods, with vocational training, to avoid them to join the armed groups. This is the first step. Now the other side is that those who have disarmed and were not elected to do the reinsertion under the disarmament and demobilization and reintegration program. We reintegrate them in the program of the CVR. The CVR is like a holistic approach of the DDR project, because the DDR have some criteria, and sometimes those who are doing the disarm are not all eligible to do the DDR process. But we can't let them go like that, because they have already made a process to release their arms and to act for peace. That's why the United Nations have created this CVR program to take all these persons and the communities affected and help them to work on their local development, and help them to have vocational training like skills to improve the local employment market, and also help them to avoid rejoining armed groups.
See,
this is how it works now.
Can you say that Central Africa is currently ongoing civil war or conflicts or ethnic conflicts, or is there any conflict there, or it is normal?
No. I will say, for me, I will say is normal, but we still have some areas where in the part of the country we have some problems, because you say you see a country who has experienced conflict or war, it can be fully 100% peacefully.
Right.
But from my point of view, I will say the CAR is a peaceful country now, even if we have some problems for some sporadic problem which are managed, the UN mission with the government and are managing them. That's why these programs are very helpful to continue build the peace and let them lasting in further.
It's good thing if your government can manage very well all this to avoid conflicts. And if you say there is a not significant conflict or very small conflict, how many percent can you say the conflict is about 10% or 20%?
I will say that
Some of territory, in which territory? 10% territory.
I will say that the influence now is mainly where we have borders with Sudan, for example, where we have borders with Chad mainly. But inside, and also if you are aware, we have the two armed groups in M23, M23 and CPC, who has signed an agreement in Chad to help the government to continue keep the country in peace, and they have decided to disarm. This kind of agreement a good point to say that things are changing. For me, I think even if it's not 100% peacefully, progress are still ongoing in the right way. I will say 65%. I will say 65%.
65% is peaceful area, and
yeah. I will say 7. I will say, let's say 60 and 70% is peaceful, and the remaining are those things we are still struggling to fix. But the progress has really been made in terms of from war to the conflict, from conflict to peace.
So you want to say around 30% will be still unstable, conflicting area, but
we still have unstable. We still have unstable areas, but the unstable areas are very few than the place where it's stable.
I see. So you're expressing you are very much satisfied the ongoing the government management, and it's likely to be increased peaceful and stable
yeah. Even if when
in
I was
the whole
going
territory.
in car like 4 years before, the car I see now has really improved in terms of security. Really improved.
I mean, it is a good news. It can keep going on and it can become much peaceful if possible. The whole country, 100%. Is compared to in Burma, you may know the conflict, civil war in Burma, more than half of territory is uh, unstable and conflicting area. So the CAR is much better. I mean, compared to many other
Yeah,
countries.
sure. Yeah, sometimes I read Myanmar news. You can't compare the both. Kaka is more peaceful than in crisis.
Right. So uh, you have much better peace building, we can say, and you may also have a lot of ethnic groups, right?
In car, yes, but the problem in yes that they have ethnic groups, but the problem is not linked to ethnic groups. Is problem like is rebels which are reclaiming one thing. Sometimes it's natural resources conflict. Sometimes is invasion of those coming from the border places. No name is I think it's not linked to ethnic groups. It's not a problem of ethnic groups.
What about religion, Muslim, Christian, or other religion conflicts?
For some areas, sometimes it's that, but it's mainly the problem of the power relation to those persons who want to get power or to take over the government, something like that.
Let's see, not really deeply go to religion line.
No, not really, not really.
Let's see, it is Central Africa is majority of Christian or Muslim? How can you say?
Yeah, majority are Christian, but I don't have in mind what is the percentage of Muslim and Christian for the whole country. But I think we have Christian and we have Muslim.
Both are living together.
Yeah, very well. They are living together. I work 3 years in Birao, which is border with Sudan. Birao is a Muslim part, but I was really incredibly satisfied how the both religions are living in the same house, in the same town. It was just very good. I was really appreciated.
I see. So I understand the car, Central Africa is not ethnic issue or religious conflict issue. It's more about who want to get the the government seat, the government power,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and also who want to get resources to grab these resources from the
Exactly.
country. So that
Yeah.
two main reason they are they attempting to get those things, and then you come in to there as UN, and how UN under DDR program, how did you let them, you know, pull back the intention to do conflict from both side or government side or from uh, opposition side? What is more risky and what are problematic?
Well, but what I will say is that every this it starts with a peace agreement. A peace agreement was signed, and the UN
By
peacekeeping
whom?
mission by the armed groups, by 17 armed groups and the government, they signed a peace agreement. If I'm not wrong, and this was in 2017 or something. I can share the right date, but a peace agreement was signed
No time
between the
ago, over 5 year, 7 year.
no, more than that. It's more than that. I don't have I will check the date, but the peace agreement was signed.
Okay.
And in this peace agreement, the rebels, I think, it was 17 groups, armed groups, and the government has decided to have agreed on many points. And the UN mission there is supporting the government initiative to do the disarmament and the reintegration. That's how the UN help the government. Is the DDR is a government project, it's not a UN project. The UN is just providing support to the government to have a successful disarmament process. And this is a very key in it has a very good impact, because under this DDR, where we have also the CVR program, we have many things we have been done, like rehabilitation of national institutions, like construction of school, like construction of healthcare, like construction of road, and to facilitate the accessibility or movement of person, and to improve also economy growth by giving some food and transport allowances, doing some communities projects. There have various activities under the DDR, not only limited to take arm voluntary or to do the disarmament, but also to accompany the communities, the ex-combatants, and the government to work on their development issues, and to have more let's say more tools to continue to keep this peace they have, or this process they have started running since more than 10 years now.
You see. So when you come in as UN coming to Central Africa, and it's maybe probably the first UN approach to the central government, probably. You also approach to all these arms groups, 17th armed group, you said. So what is the first step UN did?
I think this is a strategic area which is mainly led by the top of the high management. What I know, as I said, I know is we have a peace agreement process, but now how they deal with them, who is going to see who, I can't say something. I cannot say something because I'm not really part of this strategic or high level decision. But what we do in the field, we do many sensitization. We do capacity building of local authorities, local leaders. We do sensitization with communities. We do sensitization with all those stakeholders who can help or do anything possible to have the country in peace.
I see. So that strategy is another thing, but now you are doing more ground level implementation, something like
exactly.
that.
We are doing it implementation, but it still remains strategic, because if we can't do an implementation of something if you don't have a vision of another thing. We have the vision, which is that the country has to be keeping peace. But now when we are in the ground, we can't do that without the government. We can't do that without the communities. That's why before starting any project, we discuss with the leaders, with the local leaders of local authorities. We discuss with the representative of youth, of women, and of economic operators, and so on. All these persons are the actors to help us to implement and to be sure that the strategies or the decision or the engagement with the UN, with government, will be fully committed and fully observed.
See, so I mean, you should do implementation. That's part of UN program. I mean,
yeah,
it should be.
Yes, we do the implementation. The UN is doing the implementation. We are supporting the government on the implementation.
Sure. I mean, I want to know is you are only doing for the government control area? What about other arms groups, 17th armed group area?
When we are working, we work with all the communities. They are not really an area managed by IN group. All the areas are managed by the government, but we can have some sporadic intervention of armed groups, but no one is leaving behind in this process. We don't have, as I know, perhaps I don't have all the details of the whole country, But what I know, the country is managing by the government, not by the armed groups.
I see. You mean you want to say those 17 armed groups who sign agreement, they don't control any territory. No city, no villages.
No, 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 no. They won't control it. No.
So they are just uh, uh, they campaign for arms group, but they not grabbing or holding or controlling any
No, 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 no,
villages.
no. They're not holding a town or a village. No.
So you can just make a deal with central government, and that's all villages, you can say, all towns, district in Central Africa under central government authority.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The for what I know, although the country, the government is managing the country, it's not the rebels, it's not the armed groups.
I see. So it means your country situation is much uh, central government almost managing, almost 100%
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
all city village.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you,
We keep in
Donila.
touch.
Have a good day. Bye
Thank
bye.
you too. Have a good day too.